We develop goals in these educational performance areas. It's important for you to understand that, because next, it's about the IEP team prioritizing the educational performance areas, what matters to your child. Now, the one concept that I want, because you need to be realistic about the fact that schools over-concentrate on academics. Absolutely it doesn't matter if your child's main area for eligibility is ADHD and they have an IEP mainly because they've exhibited behaviors that impede their learning or that of others. Most IEPs that I look at for children who's prioritized the reason they're eligible, the reason they're having the main issues, I still see the IEPs having reading and math goals and not really addressing the entire reason the child qualified. This is a discussion about prioritizing those educational performance areas. The law does not give one more weight than the other. So any school that says, well, we're a school, we focus on academics, true. But that's what your 8 to 3 is, guys. They're already sitting in, most of our kids are sitting in general education classes already, okay? They're getting their instruction in academics. Where do they need specialized instruction? That's really the analysis. And so I have a lot of kids that have ADHD or they have autism that they're performing well in academics, but yet their IEP team or their IEP is heavily academic goal related, very light when it comes to the actual area where the child has the main deficits. They're receiving their academic instruction in general ed, guys. The question is, where do they need special education? Where do they need specialized instruction? And in what areas? And this is where the discussion really breaks down and you need to be aware of. We need to prioritize the educational performance areas for our children. Like I said, I have it broken down. Most of us, if you don't have a moderate or severely impacted kids, those blue aren't necessarily applicable. Okay, so your focus is the 3 up top. So let's say your child's circumstances, their individual circumstances, you know, this is what I see mainly when I look at an IEP. Huge academic focus, minimal focus on communication or social emotional deficits. Flip the discussion, guys. This is what I am focusing on when we're pushing in solutions to the school. We have academics, yet it's a little bit more for specific learning disability, but you can't ignore the components of communication and social emotional having that impact on the academics, having the impact on the learning disability. So it becomes a circular means of looking at it to where you're addressing the problem, but you're also focusing on where you need the specialized instruction, accommodations, and supports and additional services. So that you don't have this one huge bubble that everybody's focused on and they're diminishing the remainder, okay? I have the same thing for ADHD. You guys will get these slides, so you'll be able to digest it more. But once again, you have to look at it through the eyes of, in light of the child's circumstances. What is the child's circumstances? They're already receiving academic instruction in their general education setting. Where do they need the special education? Where do they need the accommodations? And that's where Dr. Ladden and the panel discussion, we're going to hone in on that, okay? Now I have this for moderate to severely impacted because I use this slide in other things, but I did not want to remove it from this, you know, to where you can sit there and see that academics takes more of a diminished importance. You blow up the social emotional side and the communication side, and then you also insert the functional skills because that becomes the end goal. For my 19-year-old daughter, who will always live with my wife and I, making her as independent as possible, helping her increase her communicative skills to the maximum extent, and also working with her on social interaction and social integration, those kind of things. That is what we've been focusing on for years and have had tremendous progress because we've had the involvement of a behavior analytic team, mainly milestones, training the teachers, training the support staff to a level of competency to be able to implement the focus on these things, diminishing the academics. Now, my daughter can read, she can write. She does an excellent job now, full sentences, proper punctuation, proper usage of capitalization. How does she know that? Who knows? It was always there. I mean, obviously, I credit all of our educators, but it's one of those things to where we couldn't have gotten there if it wasn't for these other areas where we focused and we spent the time, because that's where the special education need was. Okay, so it's flipping the mindset, but also understanding realistically when you go into an IEP meeting, guys, they're going to over focus on the academics always.